Alastor, ex, daughter, listener, platonic. Alastor knew something was wrong the moment the radio static in the hotel shifted. Not audibly, no. The hotel's usual hum of lamentation carried as always. But his station changed. The bright, jaunty tune that usually followed you around dimmed, replaced by a low, uneven crackle. The sort that only really happened when emotions spiked enough to wrap around the air. You hadn't come down for breakfast, and that alone was a bit suspicious. Alistor stood at the bottom of the stairs, cane hooked neatly over his arm, smile stretched permanently in place. Charlie was already gone, Vaggie too. Nifty had cleaned at record speed and then vanished. And Husk was asleep somewhere he shouldn't be, which only left you. He tilted his head, listening. Your door was shut, no humming, no pacing, no chatter, which was also unusual. But what was more unusual was the fact that he could only hear muffled movement and a sharp, choked inhale. Ah. Alistor's eyes narrowed, not in anger but in calculation. He knocked once, polite, measured. Darling, his voice slipped under the door, like velvet static. You're missing the most delightful part of breakfast, a spread. I'd hate for it to go to waste. Silence, then a barely audible, go away. Well, that was also unusual, and new. Alistor blinked. He waited a moment, then knocked again, lighter this time. Now, whatever's troubling you, I assure you it can't be that dreadful, my darling. Another pause. Then your voice cracked. Please, just don't come in. Well, that did it. The smile never left his face, but something old and sharp stirred behind his eyes. Very well, he said softly. I'll stay here. He leaned his shoulder against the doorframe, cane resting against the wall. The radio static followed him, tuning low, comforting. After a few minutes, he spoke again, casual and careful. Are you ill? No, you responded. He tried again. Injured? You responded the same way. No. He tried one more time. Have you been cursed? A weak, almost hysterical laugh slipped through the door. No. Alistor hummed. Then I must conclude this is something biological. Oh, God, you groaned. Ah, confirmation. Another minute passed before you whispered a miserable, I think I'm dying. Alistor chuckled softly. My dear, I've seen dying, and that sure isn't it. The door creaked open just enough for him to see your face. Pale eyes, glassy, wrapped in blankets like a wounded animal. His smile softened by a fraction. There we are, he said gently. Now tell me what's happened. You hesitated, but then blurted out in a rush, words tumbling over one another. I woke up, and everything hurts, and I'm bleeding, and I feel gross, and I hate it, and I don't know what to do, and I ruined the sheets, and You broke off, mortified. Alistor listened without interruption. When you finished, he tapped his cane once against the floor. That was it? Just, You stared at him. That's all you have to say? My dear, he replied smoothly, I am many things, but I am not familiar with the concept of... My dear, I am many things, he replied smoothly, but I am not unfamiliar with the concept of human monthly issues, catastrophes, if you will. Your jaw dropped. You what? Radio advice programs, he said dismissively. An endless source of distressed callers. You groaned and buried your face in the pillow. Alistor straightened. Now then, This explains the pain, the bleeding, and the emotional turmoil, and sudden desire to vanish into your bedding entirely normal. Yeah, well, it doesn't feel normal, you argued. No, he agreed. It feels unpleasant, which is an entirely different matter. He turned on his heel. Remain here. Do not move. I shall return. Before you could protest, he was gone, reappearing minutes later with a stack of supplies clearly acquired through questionable means. A heating pad, painkillers, fresh sheets, and a cup of tea that smelled faintly like honey and chamomile. He set everything down with all the theatrics as usual. There, he said. Pain relief, warmth, hydration, and comfort. You blinked up at him. You plan this? You asked. Of course not, he replied cheerfully. But I adapt. Carefully, almost awkwardly, he handed you the heating pad, refusing to look at your midsection. Apply this where it aches most. You did, sighing when the warmth set in. Thank you, you murmured. Alistor's smile softened again. You needn't thank me, he said quietly. This is simply part as my role. You frowned. Your role. He paused, then reached out and gently adjusted the blanket around your shoulders. My dear, he said, voice low and sincere, beneath the static. You are under my protection. Pain, blood, tears, and all. Your throat tightened. No, he straightened up quickly, clearing his throat. I suggest rest, cartoons of questionable quality, and absolutely no exertion. You sniffled. You'll stay? Alistor chuckled, tapping his cane. I'll be outside, broadcasting something soothing. As he turned away, the radio hum shifted, soft jazz and low warmth filling the room. And for the first time all day, you felt like you weren't facing it alone.